All right, let's do this.
You need a new bag. This thing is so what do you why? I don't even want to be seen in public with you.
Look, if I get a new bag, it's just going to be another Urban Disguise. It is the perfect bag. It is perfectly designed and engineered.
Find one then. Like, this is horrible. Look at this strap, man. Does this
I'll
tickle
update.
you during the day? That's why you're giggling all the time?
I don't even know how much these things cost anymore.
Look at these business cards. The camera store, this one's faded. You don't even talk to these people anymore. Who is that? You don't know.
Oh, dear Lord.
Oh, my God. It's disgusting.
It's been discontinued.
I got a great idea. It's time for a bag shootout.
Who are you talking and pointing at?
Welcome back, Deep Review TV viewers. It is Chris Nichols here, and you are now joining us for our shoulder bag roundup extravaganza. You may have recalled last year that we did a similar video with backpacks, and it was super sunny and hot. Today, though, as you can see, it is raining. A good test for the weather resistance of these bags, but otherwise not good conditions to shoot in, so we will be mostly indoors today. Now, why we're doing this is because shoulder bags are something that Jordan and I use all the time. So we're going to come at this from the approach of how we like to use shoulder bags when we're out shooting our show. I'm going to be using smaller, more compact bags to carry photo gear, and then Jordan's actually going to be in this video reviewing 3 larger bags that are capable of carrying a lot more gear and laptops, drones, etc., etc. So without further ado, let's pop inside and see what bags we're going to talk about today. Now, we do want to say special thanks to all the manufacturers for sending out the bags so we can play with them. But big special thanks also goes to you guys, because the 6 bags we're looking at today are ones that you suggested on social media. Now, the first bag I'm going to look at in no particular order is the Lowepro Pro Tactic MG160 AW2. Now, the Pro Tactics have been out for a while. I like that they kind of get away from that more classic camera bag look that Lowepro has often done. You know, the MOLLE attachments here on the side, all looks very operator. And, you know, they've got a great heritage. They make great bags. I'm sure most of us started on a Lowepro. The next bag we're going to look at is one that you guys suggested that I haven't really seen too often, so I was excited to play with it. This is the Wotancraft Pilot Series 10 liter, the smallest and lightest of the bags, and in my opinion also the sexiest of the 3 bags. I like this sort of old school waxed Cordura kind of look. And for the last of the smaller bags, I like that all 3 of my choices kind of go in different design directions. Here we got the Peak Design Everyday Messenger version 2. Very sleek, very modern, very urban kind of looking, and a very popular request on Twitter for this bag.
All right, so first of the larger bags that I want to take a look at is from my friends Think Tank, who made the perfect camera bag, the Urban Disguise. But this is the Retrospective 30 version 2, which is a similar kind of idea, but kind of a more retro, vintage sort of aesthetic to it. The next bag I'm really excited to try out, and a lot of you were asking for a Vanguard bag. So this is the VO Range 38 here. Now this is by far the least expensive of all the bags we're looking at, even though this is a bigger one, but it looks very modular. I'm curious how it's going to perform. And finally, I get a chance to look at a Manfrotto bag. This is the Manfrotto Manhattan Speedy 30 bag, and Chris is pissed because he loves Manfrotto bags. You've probably seen him waving around that small one with like the really gaudy camo interior. I don't know. He loves it, but I get to review the bags that'll take a 15-inch laptop, so I get to check this one out.
So let's talk about the gear that I'm going to carry on a typical shoot day. Here we've got a Nikon Z7 II with a 14-24-2.8. This will be a good analog for most mirrorless cameras with like a 24-70. Then I've got a 70-200 2.8 because that'll be quite typical of something we carry around. Now I don't normally carry a tablet, but look at this. This is the Doodle Pro from Fisher-Price. This is an old school tablet. This is what I grew up with that we called the tablet. I want to be able to drink something, you know, and stay refreshed. So here we go. I've got my water bottle there. Very important to be able to carry that. And just like we did on our backpack video, you definitely need to find a place for a machete. So we'll do our machete test as well today. Okay, so let's take a look at the Lowepro first here and what we can actually fit in it. Now, the first thing I'm going to say is, of course, I'm used to really old school Lowepro dividers. These are much nicer, thin, but still protecting your gear. I like that you've got multiple Velcro attachments so you can do things like fold them over to make shelves and things like that. And this is the only bag of the 3 that I'm testing that actually has a removable cube. And that can be handy in a lot of situations if you just want to make this into a day bag for heading out. I like that there's a water bottle holder here on the side, but I am using a big water bottle, and when pushed in there, you can see it does impress quite a bit into the main chamber, so I had to move things over in order to then fit in a 70-200 2.8 lens, but it does that very nicely, and the height's perfect for a lens like that. So now we've got our camera here with our large pro zoom on it. That fits nice, and the shelf protects it, and I've got a little bit of space under there as well, under the shelf, if I want to put batteries, charger, that kind of stuff. Now, of course, I need to take my Doodle Pro, and that's gonna doodle right into that tablet holder like a pro. And there we go, we're doing pretty good, but the machete, where does the machete go? Well, the nice thing about this bag being tactical is that I definitely have these attachment straps on the side, so there's lots of things that I can use here, clips and stuff, and I'm just gonna actually clip my machete here on the side, and then I'm safe. Look at that. All right, now it's time to fill up the Wotancraft Pilot. And first thing I'm gonna say here is this is a soft shell bag, so you can open it up wider, and the dividers are actually designed to accommodate that if you want a wider bag like that. Also, the laptop is just a divider. It's not an actual separate pouch, so you can move that around and position it. First thing, water bottle, because that's always been tough. And you actually have 2 water bottle pouches on either side of the bag. That's nice. Again, it does squish into the body of the bag, but I should be able to fit. Yeah, 7,200 there. Put in the old man tablet before portable screens were invented. And then we're going to put in our camera, which, yeah, it doesn't match with the 7,200. Ram that in there. There we go. Now the machete, well, luckily there's actually some nice looped pouches here. One's got a zipper that goes through both sides. Look at that. I'm gonna pop the machete right through there, put up the zippers, done skis. But then I also have another separate big loop here, and this would be great if I wanted to put a jacket through there, sweater, something like that. And on the top pouch, I even have other straps here. I could see putting gloves or something like that in there. So overall, although it's the smallest of the 3 bags, I still fit everything very nicely. Okay, last but not least, we're gonna fill the Everyday Messenger by Peak Design. Now, first thing I noticed is the dividers. These are awesome. Look, you've got these built-in shelves, and that's great. You can have a small lens below it, another lens on top, and then still a long lens, and nothing's brushing up against it. There's no real external pouches. There's these 2 little ones on the side. They don't really hold much, but I have no place to put a water bottle, so it's gonna have to go inside the compartment. Might be a scary, dicey situation. Anyways, let's see what we can put in here. So first off, Doodle Pro. I like that the tablet pouch actually has a little magnetic closure in there. That's nice. It's sexy to keep things tight. Mismatched 70 to 202.8. That fits in there very nicely. Water bottle. Here we go. Pop it on that side. Now, I've got the Nikon Z7 II here. I like that I could prop it up vertically like that instead of going sideways along the bag. Okay, so the height's good. This all closes very nicely, but where am I gonna put the machete? I mean, there's nowhere to, the luggage strap, it's gonna fall through. This is a real problem. I mean, in a highly plausible situation where you're in an urban environment with a beautifully urban-styled bag, you need to chop down some heavy foliage, you're kind of out of luck. This bag is not designed for machete enthusiasts.
Okay, a table's not gonna give me enough room for my full kit. And unlike Chris, I don't need novelties to entertain myself or a knife to feel like a man. I'm all business, but I've got a lot of gear that I use on the average shoot, so I'm gonna show you what I'm working with here. Okay, so I always like to carry a computer with me. Now I forgot mine today, so this is Chris's. Just pretend that's like an aesthetically pleasing Mac. I also need audio gear. So I've got a bag with my wireless microphones here, an onboard mic that I like to use to record camera sounds. And I don't use this a ton, but we thought we'd also bring a drone with us because I know a lot of people will travel with those especially. And of course, we're gonna need a controller for that. Lovely. We need a camera with a couple of lenses. We'll just use the same ones that Chris was using there. Big telephoto. And I'm always gonna have headphones, and these do take up a surprising amount of space in the bag. All right, so for the big video kit, we're gonna start with the Think Tank bag. I'll say right off the top, right here, it comes with a carrying strap on there, but I found it just constantly got in the way, so I got rid of that immediately. And in there, I'm using all their tall dividers, but it's quite nice. It comes with tall and short ones, but I found these work really well. And they're very rigid too. That's something Think Tank does really nicely. So I've got a little spot on the side for the laptop beside my main camera carrying case, and then I've got another slot on the opposite side where I could stick some stuff in there, but it's not super well padded. But inside we have got lots of room. So telephoto, no problem. Main camera with the lens, like it was made for it. Drone, a little bit tricky. We had to space some stuff out, but it does go in there in the main compartment. And then we've got room in these really generous front pouches here that stretch out quite a bit. We can get our remote in there. I can get all my audio stuff in the front, except for the headphones, but those will slot really nicely in here. And it all feels very well built. And I didn't think I'd be able to zip this top up, But lo and behold, if I can find the zippers, look at that. All right, now let's take a look at the Vanguard bag. And this one is very customizable, kind of interesting. You can see the top here is quite shallow compared to the other bags we looked at, but that's for the lower compartment that we're gonna talk about in a minute. But we do have a nice laptop sleeve here, and I do like that it's actually got a little bit of padding, unlike the Think Tank. Slots right in there. Now because of this kind of shallow top, I am gonna put this camera in sideways. And the real doozy here is the drone. I slot this in. It'll go in, but I'm not gonna be able to zip the bag up, and that's just kind of one of the annoying compromises with this. Then we've got a little space here for the remote control for the drone as well. The problem is gonna be that 70 to 200, but fortunately I have this front pouch right here, and that's gonna fit the 70 to 200 really, really nicely. And it's even gonna give me some room for those kind of bulky headphones. Now, I like using this so you've got two compartments, but if you did need extra height or you want to leave a telephoto attached to your camera, you can take out this divider here and just have a single chamber, very tall camera bag. And I've got this straggling audio equipment here, but I can just put that right in this front pouch. It bulges out a little bit, but you know what? It doesn't look ridiculous fully loaded. And finally, we have Manfrotto, famous for tripods. They make bags too. So we've got the inside cube, which is the real standout feature on this. It is fully removable, so you can just turn this into a day pack and leave all your camera gear nice and organized. We'll start with the big stuff, obviously the telephoto, the drone are the two that are really gonna test the height, but not a problem at all. And this little cube liner is still gonna zip up for us just fine. Camera in there as well. No problems at all. I guess I probably should have done the laptop earlier, but you know what? It's still gonna fit even with all this, because we do have that separated cube, and there is a little bit of padding there for the laptop and an extra sleeve for a tablet as well if you want. I guess I can kind of jam this remote control in the front here, which is terrifying because it has a screen on it. I don't want that to break. And then I've got audio stuff. I don't know, put it in the top. I mean, this is by far the least space efficient of the ones we've done. Oh, headphones. I guess I'm just gonna wear them around my neck now. I don't like this bag. It's not. Ah! Okay, I took 5 minutes. I had a glass of water. Feeling much better now, and it's just frustrating because this bag isn't any smaller than the other bags, but it certainly fits less gear. But if you don't have huge demands, this will get you by just fine.
So we've had a bit of a lull in the rain. We're outside again. We thought there'd be a good opportunity to talk about not just the weather-resistant features on the bags, but also things that we haven't covered yet, like external features, interesting attachments, shoulder straps and comfort, that kind of stuff. Why am I wearing gloves? Well, winter will be coming soon, and a lot of people always ask us, well, how do these things work while wearing gloves? Is it easy to get zippers open? So we thought this would be a good way to test things out. That's why I've got the Mickey Mouse gloves on, and I do apologize if we have any audio bangs and noise and stuff, because we've got straps and stuff all over our microphones. So first I'm going to talk about the Lowepro bag here. I'm going to address this. This does have an adjustable action strap. I'm going to let that dangle, so if I was going to go on a bike or something, or jog or something, I could clip it on here and the bag's not going to move. Fat chance though, right? No pun intended. All right, so first off, the strap. I do like the comfort of this strap. It's got a nice wide band. I haven't noticed any issues with it rubbing or cutting into my neck at all while I've been testing it. And I do like having one of these quick clips so I can easily lower the bag, get to all my stuff, put it away, bring it back up, and clip it nice and tight. That's a really nice feature that I haven't really had on a bag before. Now, looking over here, we've got standard plastic clasps. Now, they're rugged, but I'm not a huge fan of these because it is a little bit slow to get in and out. Gloves weren't too much of a problem. Got a nice external pouch here that I haven't talked about. This is where I've got memory card holders, filter pouches. Last few things to note, the carry handle in the back here can also hold it onto luggage, although it's probably gonna fall off the bottom there. I've got tripod straps here. They're not removable. They've got nice quick adjustment clips, however, but with gloves on, good luck. And the last thing that I've kind of already touched on, the MOLLE attachments on the side of this bag do make it unique. I can add other things, make this bag more versatile. I have a first aid kit which I could slap on here, which, considering how much I've been injured lately, would actually be a really nice thing. All right, so the Wotancraft. So the strap is quite simple, but it's comfortable. I haven't had any problems here, but it doesn't have a quick adjuster like the other bags do. It uses plastic spin clips here as well. They seem sturdy enough. Time will tell. Now, while we're on the back here, there is a pouch. It's got a rubberized zipper on it. You can put documents and stuff in there. But I will say these metal zippers, hard to do with gloves. I do like this clip on the side here. So this is pretty cool. You separate it sideways to take it apart, but when you want to put it back together, it magnetically clips together. That's pretty slick. Inside, there's another zippered pouch here, which would be good for filters and memory cards and things like that. The tripod straps on the bottom are removable, otherwise very simple, but they work well. And I do like that I also get these accessory pouches, and I can add these on to the front of the bag here and here if I need more space. All in all, nice and versatile bag. Now the Peak design has a comfortable strap, uses this kind of seatbelt material. We've seen this before in their neck straps, and a very comfortable, well-padded shoulder pad there as well. I like that this has the quick adjust strap. Now it's easy to pull up here so I can lower the bag, get it off easy or whatever. But the strap is wet right now and it doesn't want to go back down. Normally when it's dry it slides pretty nicely, but now I gotta feed it past that wet part there. That'll only happen with a wet strap like we have today. Now, this is an interesting quick clip here, and it is adjustable with multiple brackets, so you can get different heights if you've got something particularly tall. Can I do it with gloves on? Just kind of like a pull down and away kind of action. So we've got a rubberized zipper pouch here at the top for memory cards. There's little slots there. Here on the top here, we also have another pouch. Now this does actually have our tripod adapting straps in there, and I like that, again, they're removable if I need to remove them. Otherwise, the only other things we have are two pouches on the side here. You could put some small stuff in there, but you don't have a lot of space. It only goes down about finger's depth in there. We do, of course, have a big luggage holder here, and I like that it's full size on the bag from top to bottom, so then it doesn't fall out or slip out on the top of your luggage.
All right, so now it's my turn to talk about some of the bigger bags. I too have the gloves on, so we can try and work with these. I'm gonna start with the Think Tank Retrospective again. So the standout on this bag for me is the shoulder strap. It's just extremely comfortable, the best of all the ones that I used, and has a little rubber on it to keep it from slipping as well. My main issue with this is after we struggle through the incredibly solid Velcro on this thing, it is a flip top, so you do kind of have to keep it on your chin while you're sorting your gear. I prefer things where you can unzip the top and access it that way. But what I do really like with this is, you could hear that Velcro was crazy loud, but you can just pop out these little tabs here if you're not wearing gloves. If you are wearing gloves, it's a little more difficult. Cut. And we're back. So I can use these little flaps here, and now the bag is completely silent when I'm opening and closing it. Though, of course, remember, it's not actually sealed up. But what you can do is seal up the internal compartment, and you can do that with this really easy to grab zipper with a nice little grab strap there. On the side, we've got this really huge and wonderful water bottle compartment. You could put all kinds of stuff in there. The problem is it's actually a real pain to hook it back into its smaller closed position. I'm not even going to bother trying to do it because it's tedious. Okay, let's talk about the Vanguards. Now, none of my straps have easy adjustability like Chris's do, but that's fine because I always just put them at the lowest possible setting because I'm a tall man. The strap on this one is quite comfortable, but I do find it can still slip a little bit. There's been times where I put it on my shoulders and the pad has moved over to my back, like you can see it doing right now. But this does have top zipper access, which I love. So I can just quickly grab my gear. So now if I want to access that lower compartment here, I do have a couple of plastic clips, but they're easy to use with gloves. As well on the front, we've got one of my favorite features. It actually has two small pouches right here that are labeled. You've got a green on one side, and that's for your fresh media that you haven't used, batteries, memory cards. On the other side here, you've got the red for stuff that is all used up, and they're divided right in the middle. We've got really nice zippers, again, very easy to grab onto with this. And I do like that we've got two little side holders for water or extra accessories. Symmetry. Now my old friend Manfrotto. I gotta say, this is the least comfortable of the three shoulder straps that I tested. It's just very basic, nothing really wrong with it, just not super supportive. But what is very supportive is we have this great little tripod holder on the bottom here, which is actually fabric. So it's just supporting the tripod quite a bit more. You don't have to worry about cables getting tangled on things. The only thing I don't like about it is it uses these two little plastic clips, and they're very flush with the bag. So if you're wearing gloves, it's kind of tricky to get into those. Otherwise, I do like that we've got leads on all the zippers on this, so it's very easy to get in and out. I would say it's almost too easy to get into these side pouches here. I mean, you don't have to pull on the zippers, just pull on the pouch itself. it's gonna open right up, so I wouldn't put anything important in there. I could easily see it falling out.
So let's talk about weather resistance and how well these bags are going to protect your stuff. So first I've got the Lowepro here. Now Lowepro are fairly well made bags and I've used a lot of them. The nylon outside will soak up moisture, but it takes a while before it actually soaks through. And this is a classic Lowepro all-weather bag, so it's got a built-in cover that I can then stretch over the entire bag to keep it safe. Now the Wotancraft goes a little bit more old school. It's got a Cordura fabric here, but it's wax, and you can see the water actually beads off of it very nicely. I like the wax Cordura too because it's going to show any wear and give the bag some character, but I've had a lot of other stuff like this, and you do usually have to do some regular maintenance, maybe re-wax it and really brush up that weather resistance. Otherwise though, I like that all of the zippers and pouches that are going to be exposed are all under this top flap, and the back one here does have a rubberized zipper, so that should help to protect your gear very nicely. Now the Peak design, when you look at it up close, it actually feels like it's a very high quality sealed product. The material itself looks nice and rugged. You can tell that it's already been treated with a DWR repellent. You can see water kind of beating off the material. And then when you look at the bottom, they've gone with, I think, a 900D layer on the bottom. So it's even thicker. And again, it's rubberized. Feels like you're not going to have any water problems here.
All right, let's start talking about weather resistance on these bigger bags, starting with the Think Tank. And I gotta say, looking at this, I figured it would just soak up water like an old burlap sack during the Great War, but they put some great coatings on this because the water just beads right off it. There are a few places where there's a little bit of knitting where you can see the water kind of pools up, but it's not gonna affect your camera gear on the inside. And if you're really worried about it, it comes with a great all-weather bag included as well. Next up is the Vanguard, and as the least expensive of the bags, I wouldn't expect really fancy coatings on it, but you can see if it gets wet, then the water does definitely collect in this. They do have a couple smart design decisions though. I really like that this bag has a flap, and usually that'll open up the entire bag to dust and water, but there's actually a zipper underneath it, so you can keep it zipped up, and then if you need to get to your gear, just access it from the top, zip it back up again, and you're gonna keep all the dirt and water out of there. If it starts really pouring, then this material is not gonna help you, but fortunately they include a rain bag as well. That brings us finally to the Manfrotto, and this is one of the less expensive bags, so I was actually really impressed with the coatings that they've put on this. Water just beads right off it very easily, and I also like that we have a rubberized base in case you set stuff down in water. You don't have to worry about that getting in and damaging your camera gear. Now, unlike the other bags, this doesn't have a top flap. It's solely zipper access, so as long as the zipper is closed, you're not gonna have to worry about any dust or anything getting in there. But also, there's nothing covering the zipper on this, so I would like to see some rubber seals or something because I could see water getting through there. But if it's really a downpour, this also comes with a rain bag that you can use to cover it up. So after looking really closely at all these bags, which one would I actually pick up? The answer surprises me because I would actually go with the Vanguard, which was by far the least expensive of all the bags we looked at, but it has a lot of stuff I actually found really useful in my time testing it. I could go out and have the top section all set up for video gear and then photo cameras with photo lenses in the bottom, or full video complement up top and all my audio in the bottom. It worked really well for me, and I really did like that little card organizer system on it. Just a really well thought out bag. So I settled on that, but then our friend Costas, when I was expressing, man, all I want is just another Urban Disguise bag. Those were the best bags ever. Gave me an unused, brand new Urban Disguise 50 bag that's gonna work great. So you know what, I'm just gonna use this one. Thank you, Costas. If you're looking for a printer, let me tell you, that Costas at Resolve Photo, great printer who will give me a free camera bag once in a while. Anyways, that's my pick.
So after all that, access to brand new bags, Jordan just goes with what he knows, a long discontinued bag that's exactly the same as his old one. Costas. Anyways, what did I choose? Well, I actually loved all three bags that I used in these tests. I could use all of them happily for our YouTube shoots. And of course, this is all very subjective. But for me, first off, I'm gonna eliminate the Peak design because I like a bag that has external attachments. I just like the versatility of it, the techiness of it. I don't know, it's just something I love. So then the Lowepro has great attachment points, lots of space. I really enjoyed using a modernized bag from them, but it does look basic and black, you know, kind of tactical. Despite common knowledge, that's not really my thing. So I'm gonna go with the Wotancraft here because it looks great. It's small and light, but still carried everything I wanted to carry. And yet it has some really interesting ways to attach and carry things beyond just camera gear. So stylish, functional, compact. I really enjoyed this bag. Now, I know the number one comment is going to be, why didn't you guys review brand X bag? And the fact is, we did 6. That's already way too many for a video format. And we really went with the manufacturers that we got feedback on from you guys at home on what you wanted to see that would fit what we like to shoot. But of course, if you have any questions about these bags specifically to get more information, leave comments in the section below. We would love to answer those. And if you have any suggestions for other bags you'd like to see reviewed, certainly let us know that and we'll put it under consideration just like we did with the 6 that we played with today. Anyways, I hope this helps you guys out in deciding what shoulder bag might be the best option for you. Do check out our backpack video as well if you haven't already. That's a nice option if you're looking for a backpack instead. Links in the description below. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining us and we shall see you soon.